Good morning, Chicago Cubs fans. We are back with another edition of Cubs Daily. My name is Steven Ryan. More reports coming out that the Cubs are not finished. They went out, they got Bregman. They traded for Cabrera. They're still in on a few other players. We're going to break them all down here on the show. I got 3 names for you and then another question for you guys at the end. But before we get into all that, just want to give everyone a big thank you once again for the continued support on the channel. Hit that 1,000 subscriber goal with great ease last week. We're on our road to 2K officially. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and of course share your thoughts down below. Your comment could be featured in a video on Friday. So reports earlier today, according to Bruce Levine, the Cubs are still in ongoing talks with Scott Boras about Zach Gallen. Remember, a couple months ago, Bob Nightingale had that famous mishap. He Nightingaled us once again that the Cubs already signed Zach Gallen. Well, the Cubs are still in on him. And I'm genuinely curious, do the Cubs just want to go to a 6-man rotation, right? Like just straight up? Because I think this is what would do it. Obviously we're waiting for Justin Steele to return. Rumors are that it's a shorter term deal if it's going to happen. But obviously if Zach Gallen gets offered somewhere for more years and more money, he probably should take that, as this could be the final major payday of his career. But yeah, exciting news. I was okay with adding Zach Gallen earlier. Now, did I want it to be the only Cubs move? No, absolutely not. But Zach Gallen, kind of trying to have a bounce-back season from what he did last year, sign me up. I know he's pitched in big-time games. He's helped that Diamondbacks team get to the World Series, and I would love to add him to the staff. Zach Gallen has absolutely incredible swing and miss stuff. He's a seasoned veteran of the league, and yeah, I wouldn't mind adding him right to the team. Last year, how many people did he strike out last year? He struck out 175 people, 192 innings. Again, the Cubs' goal is just to get through all the innings of 162 games, and Zach Gallen could absolutely eat a chunk of that. It kind of seems like just like the rich get richer type situation in the sense of signing Zach Gallen, but hey, when you're trying to compete with the likes of the Dodgers and then the Mets and all the bats that they're signing in the Phillies, I think the Braves are going to have a bounce back year too. It is imperative you have a bunch of different types of pitching that you can throw at them. And I think Zach Gallen would be an excellent addition, especially if it's not on like a 2-year, $45 million deal with an opt-out after this season. I think that's a perfect deal for Zach Gallen and this Cubs team. He can go pitch against the wind at Wrigley, get his numbers down, go get a big payday somewhere else. I think it's a good fitting move on that sense. Now, I have not seen any names connect. No Cub reporter has connected the name to Cody Bellinger, right? It still seems like they're very heavy with the Yankees. Yankees feel like they've offered their very fair deal to Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger seems like he really wants his one final sign-him deal. So I just don't think this is going to be a move for the Cubs in that sense. Do I think our offense is like fine as is? Yes and no. Like, I think it's a very good offense. I think it's competent, but do I think we could add more? Absolutely. Would a bat like Bellinger be the icing on the cake in this situation? Oh, yes. Cody Bellinger, big-time lefty bat, hits for average. I think it would really bring back that dynamic to the ballpark. Again, I think the power numbers would dip. Left-handed hitters that really primarily don't do well. He really exceeded at Yankee Stadium, so I really think he does want to go back there, but I'm not sure if there is a deal out there for the Cubs to be had with Cody Bellinger. But, again, he was once a Cub. There are always those connections. I know the Cubs did trade him away after we traded for Kyle Tucker. So maybe there's bad blood there, but it doesn't seem like, according to the public reports, there's not any bad blood on that front, and Cody Bellinger could potentially be open to a return with the ball club. Now, another name that we actually did hear and we are actually connected to, Miguel Andujar. He played, I believe, for the Cincinnati Reds last year, and he did pretty well. I'd say he had 318. He was an Athletic and a Red last year. He had 318, 10 home runs and about, part-time duty. Again, a positive bat off the bench. I think he would really, really fit this Cubs team. He's really flexible in the positions. It says he's a left fielder and a third baseman. I've read elsewhere he could play first and, et cetera, et cetera. Not that we need him to play first. I'm just saying, though, if you can provide that positional flexibility, you're going to have a spot on the team. You're going to hit 318 off the bench. You are going to have a spot on this team. No doubt about it. You have to be able to play that depth. With him and Matt Shaw, Shaw would obviously be the first one off the bench, super utility-wise, but I think first bat off the bench would be Miguel Andujar if the Cubs were able to execute a deal like this for a guy like him. I think he'd be a really, really good fit. The Cubs have said they're not afraid to go over the luxury tax. I don't know by how much though, right? Maybe probably $5 million, right? Not $30 million, et cetera, et cetera. But if they sign the likes of Zach Gallen and Miguel Andujar, by the way, the roster man is at 40, so some moves are definitely going to have to be made here soon if those are the type of moves that are going to be made. But either way, it's good to see that the Cubs are not finished. They do not think this team is complete quite yet, and there's always more to be had with baseball. You can never have enough bats. You can never have enough pitching, et cetera, et cetera. So that brings the question to I'm going to bring to all you, ladies and gentlemen, and I want you to comment down below. What do you want more? Would you rather the Cubs, if they're going to sign one more player? By the way, I think we're going to sign one more bigger player, like a Zach Gallen or a quote-unquote Cody Bellinger-esque player, maybe Eugenio Suarez. He doesn't have a home yet. Do you want a bat or do you want a pitcher? Let me know in the comments below. Do you want a more of a strong-arm reliever maybe? But it seems like Zach Gallen, he's a starter. 192 innings last year still, and it was a down year. So I could imagine if we get a bounce-back Zach Gallen version, that would be epic. Personally, as a fan, I want to add another bat. I really think we could stretch this bench a little bit longer. I understand they signed that Austin Tyler guy, and I want Matt Shaw to get the good quality amount of reps. But once we start getting into the swing of things of the regular season, Matt Shaw's going to be in there 3 or 4 days a week, I think, because we're going to start giving a lot of people off and all that other stuff. This is where we need to get a really, really good contact bat, and that's where I think either Cody Bellinger or Miguel Andujar would be a sensational fit on this Cubs team. Now, obviously, if you sign Miguel Andujar, it's a much cheaper deal, but if you sign Cody Bellinger, bigger name, bigger appeal, and honestly, Cody Bellinger could allow Seiya Suzuki to move to his natural DH spot, and then that would kind of bump Moises Ballesteros down to the bench. But again, that's that tricky question, right? The Cubs showed earlier they were not afraid to do it. They traded Owen Casey away because they wanted to add Edward Cabrera. They wanted to add Edward Cabrera for a long time. But now, you got to let one of these kids hit, right? Kevin Alcantara, he's going to potentially be in AAA again. There has to be another move at play because, again, we just have too much of a logjam coming up through the minor leagues. I mean, Jonathan Long, right? What are we going to do with him? He's our minor league player of the year. What are we supposed to do with him, et cetera, et cetera? So there's a lot more questions that need to be answered before we even get to spring training, and we're going to probably try our best to go over all of those questions right here on Cubs Daily. So, guys, make sure you are locked on into Cubs Daily. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Like the video, and share your thoughts down below. Pitcher or bat? Personally, I want to go with bat, but again, you know what they say, you can never have enough pitching. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's episode. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.